It's an aggressive position 4, so it makes up for Gremlo's feeding a lot of the time, which is a really big issue with the team. You know how he just ends up going 0-8 by the end of the laning phase a lot. Although he came back that other game, he was Venomancer, ended up being one of the strongest heroes in the game. Pretty wild. But a lot of time it's run with things like Viper, just extra slows on top of slows, and taking out, I guess, weaker safe laners. They pick up an Ursa, so it's a lot of early aggression here on the side of Arkosh.
Yeah, in your face action here with the old Tusk snowball with Ursa and the new Orb of Corrosion, which I think is utterly broken, by the way. But I'm a melee hero, so I'm a melee player, so not really complaining too much. Pangos, you typically pick that up as well, so they're going to have one for each side. But the real question is, what is your, like, what position is Bat Rider for
three probably
Byzantine? So position 4. Wait, then what is Pango?
Pango probably mid.
They actually play him mid. Oh yes. Okay, this is my Maybe I'm rooting for Byzantine Raiders now. Goodness.
They don't play Bat Rider mid at all. Bat Rider mid had been a thing before. I mean, I guess you already see it's a Void Spirit there, but I don't know. Yeah, without seeing too much of the Raiders play, all I'm seeing is that there's a fair amount of flexibility here, as Sunsfan pointed out. 2 offlaners at least.
Well, you ban out 3 counters to the Bat Rider that are safe lane heroes. So it probably means you want to throw them into the offlane. You can flex it if you want to and put the Pango in the mid lane if you have to. But given how many bans you spent on that one, you have the favorable matchup against the Ursa. You don't want him getting close to you, but you can build up those stacks on him. And they don't. They picked up both their supports, so they can't get an Oracle to dispel the sticky napalm stacks either. It's probably going to be an offlane at this point. They need either a carry or they need a really hard carry here, actually. They're lacking both tower damage and physical damage here on the Raiders.
Yeah.
I'm concerned who's going to fill
All right, gentlemen.
both those roles.
It's time for Troll Warlord. Has he been banned yet? All right. Just listen up, okay? Troll Ags. I don't know if I've ever mentioned Troll Ags before. Dakota,
have you ever mentioned this before? I don't know if you've mentioned this before.
Dude,
all right,
Troll with Ogre Magic. You get your fervor stacks up faster. Troll is really good now against Ursa because you can continually use Whirling Axes despite that amazing Enrage ability from Ursa. You can only use it once unless he gets his shard, which that's not really a thing until much later in the game. I like Troll a lot right now, guys. A lot.
I think we had this discussion last time I was on panel, and then it ended up just going the Battle Fury, Sanj and Yasha, and it's a horrible, horrible game for the Troll Warlord.
Yeah, you have to against Ursa. I think you have to go Ags. I don't think that's just not me memeing. That's I think legit. Like second, like I've seen some people try to go for like 3rd item, but I think against someone like an Ursa, 2nd item would be needed if they even go for Troll to begin with. I mean, who's left from like position 1? Because Ricky's been taken out, Morphling.
I mean,
there's Lifestealer.
Oh,
that's true. Pool. Yeah, Wraith King is good as well.
Most popular carry right now was a frontliner.
They already have the Ursa. That'd be kind of rough, right? Or does Wraith King beat Ursa?
Eventually. I mean, if you play very fast, they also need something that can stand in front and hit towers and just get blown up. I'm not sure how they ran out this draft against the lineup here on Arkosh at this point. They've kind of drafted themselves into a corner. There's no one hero that solves all their problems. I mean, Ricky might have...
that Nature's Prophet ban, though, because if you don't have an answer for what you got, he's a plan B, essentially. But, okay.
Whoa!
Wow. There's your Dispel.
Okay. Yeah, you got a really good potential save, although the range on a Photic Shield's not that great, but obviously you can just hit that R button if you're the one that's... I mean, they're never going to lasso Abaddon. That's a very interesting pick. Oh, like, what position is he then? Is this an off lane? With
Abaddon Coddle would be fun. Just keep juicing him up.
Well,
I love Abaddon.
You're forced to run the Bat Ride to the mid at this point because you don't want to put him against the Abaddon. You're never going to get sticky napalm stacks up onto people. He's just going to shield them off whenever that happens. So that was a pick out of nowhere. You've wasted so many bans now trying to counter out anybody who can play against the Bat Rider here. Raiders, they've straight up outdrafted at this point. There's no real solution to the lineup here on Arkosh now.
Yeah,
I mean, there's still that Troll Warlord, guys.
Oh.
I don't know if I've mentioned, but the Troll Warlord Aghanosceptor also dispels enemies, so you can take off Overpower, very strong indeed. You can take off Blinding Light on yourself. There's a lot of applications for it here. Of course, Void Spirit Ags does make it quite annoying, but that's what you get SNY after. So everything's taken care of, gentlemen. All you got to do is pick it.
I can feel them worrying. Oh,
God, I'm good.
All right.
God, I'm good.
We'll see if it ends up paying off, though. I think we're going to see exactly what we saw last time we saw a troll.
Would have been so sad that build up, it was something else, but nice call. There it is. All right. So with that, are you riding that troll with a prediction there, Suns fan?
You know what? I love the Abaddon a lot, but just because I made such a big deal out of troll, I'm gonna have to go all in here. Byzantine. I don't know if they've won. Have they won? I know they haven't won a series, but have they won a game yet? Is my question. If not, this will be their first victory. They have not won a game yet. This will be their first victory. I'm riding all in on troll. OP
all right, for you, Neff.
It's got to be Arkosh. I don't like seeing him win, but here they are. Better lineup. Great way to round things off. And Troll Warlord, he's not going to do it against Coddle.
Awesome stuff. All right. Why don't we go ahead and quickly get to a break and send it over to our commentary team now. We have MLP, johnxfire, and special guest Sammyboy joining on the mic. Let's check it out after the break.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the NADPC Lower Division. It is, of course, MLP, Dota, and johnxfire, and special guest Sammyboy. Sammy, how you doing, mate?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic, Sammy, and I'll have you know that's the first time my analyst has ever asked me how I'm doing, so thank you for that. johnxfire never asks me. John, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Mike, and I could care less about how you're doing because we've got a game on hand. Arkosh up against Byzantine Raiders. Byzantine is the pronunciation of the American pronunciation, please, as we've discussed before. And this is going to be an interesting one. Troll last pick here for Byzantine. Sammy, you're a core player. You play POS 1. How do you feel about that troll? We see it a bit more, I think, in Southeast Asia, but not too much here in NA.
Yeah, I think it's a really strong hero. I think it's probably one of the only picks they could have picked that would round out their draft as it did. So, I mean, I really like the pick. I think that I'm surprised how late it made it in the draft. You know, there were tons of bans on carries as well. I was surprised you get 24 troll. So, I mean, I do think it's a really good pick. Definitely the best one available, I think.
I found it pretty interesting as well. I mean, Neff was pretty confident about it, that Troll Warlord, and obviously they did end up picking... excuse me, not Neff, but rather Suns fan was confident about the Troll pick coming out. He was correct with it as well. Overall, though, with the drafts, Arkosh, I believe it was Neff saying that they had the better draft. Do you tend to agree with that, Sam?
Yeah, absolutely. I think they have a lot of good synergy, obviously, with Coddle, Void Spirit, plus a Tusk. It's going to enable them to not only tri-lane, but also play off runes. And not only that, I think they just have the counter picks. Abaddon versus Batrider, obviously, and really strong laners to kind of punish the Pangolier, punish the Batrider as well.
Absolutely. Of course, we'll have a look at the mid lane. Canis Vulpus up against Alien Mana Banana. On paper, you would assume the Batrider should have the advantage in this mid lane. It looks like Canis, for now, not having too much of a tough time on the Void Spirit. Anything to look out for here? I mean, apart from the power runes, do we expect anything to happen early on, or is it just going to be even trading between the two?
I think the mid lane is going to be pretty even. This is kind of a very 50-50 matchup where both sides of the matchup are going to be pretty happy, probably just trying to farm. I think it's just going to depend on the runes. If Void Spirit's able to maybe get a lucky DD or lucky haste, and same for Batrider, might be seeing some action. But besides that, should be pretty relaxing.
All right. In top lane, we already see a bit of a pull happening here from Crow on the Tusk. The Light Shader is there to try and dissuade him from going any further, but there was a full creep wave deny, I believe, apart from 2 creeps that went past from Crow, and looks like he's going to try and go for it again. Light Shader is going to follow him down and try and be as annoying as humanly possible. And, surprisingly enough, Crow looks like he's given up on it. He's bringing it back into the lane.
This top lane... Oh.
They are going on to Gremlo, but I highly doubt they're going to kill him off on the Abaddon. Sorry, John, you were saying?
They've shoved in the lane. Like, there are 2 range creeps now for Gremlo to soak some EXP off of. Murderer's still been finding some last hits, but, you know, this Abaddon, now at level 2, has the curse up. They could look to jump in perhaps with Crow. I think with Crow, they're going to wait for level 2, level 3 on Tusk to get some aggression up. The slows that come out here are pretty potent, so I think that's something Byzantine's going to have to watch out for. Even if they've got that tanky ogre front.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gremlo's getting so much XP.
Both of these off lanes are playing really aggressive. They have tons of creeps built up. Probably going to see some power diving, some action. See how it goes.
Hopefully, I mean, even bot lane.
Triple range creep built up as well. It'll be interesting to see what Pale Horse does here.
And it will be. He's going to stick around. He's copying a few tower hits, but he's going to try for the denies, and looks like he's probably going to get away with most of them, though no, he doesn't get that one, and he won't get the second either. Frugos will be able to secure the other range creep. So both offlaners getting a hell of a lot of XP and gold underneath their tier 1 towers. I believe we do see Goat going for a small camp pull as we speak. Frugos is going to try and be a little bit disruptive here. Having a lot of trouble as well, like with this draft from Arkosh, I really do not see Byzantine Raiders being able to lock Pale Horse down throughout this game on the Ursa.
They only really have Lasso. I guess they've got the lift combo, Tangle Your Roll, but you're always worried about that Abaddon in the back. There's just, as mentioned, a lot of answers on hand, and Pale Horse is already looking to just poke a bit. Not too much aggression early on these lanes. I think you have to look at Arkosh top. They're starting to make some moves on Light Shader, but he is fairly tanky.
He is. They've got the tag team going, but I highly doubt they kill him off. Maybe with the Curse of Avernus, but no, he does get away. And now Murderer are going to try and turn around and punish them for this. I don't think he can really overextend here, and he will indeed back off. Still looking pretty darn good in the safe lane for Murderer, at least with his 20 and 4 in terms of last hits. And it looks like the rotations are being made into the mid lane, where Crow is still chasing down Light Shader. The Aether Remnant is there to block his way, but he does make his way around it. And Light Shader, nice shards out from Crow, is going to lock him in. And that will be the first blood going out to Arkosh Gaming.
Alien Man Banana is able to pick up a regen rune on the other side of the river, so it's not too bad to give the 5 position kill like that to secure the rune. Obviously it is a first blood though.
It still sets up Alien Man Banana. Like, first bottle refill, regen up, Canis Volpus has been sort of keeping the lane in check, but you are at that spike now for the Batrider, and he has his lane cover. There's a little bit of a shove going, he can cut into those camps, and this is where that Batrider shines, just highly efficient across the map, no matter where he is.
Yeah, this hero farms faster than basically any other mid laner in the game right now. It's really crazy.
Bot lane, a bit of a fight over the bounty runes. They're going to go onto Q Bay, but he's going to be able to swashbuckle out of there, and Frugos does manage to get the rune, but more heroes are incoming. Crow, another nice shots out onto Frugos, and he is going to die. Giving the kill away to Pale Horse on the Ursa. Feel very nice for him.
Arkosh really like these roaming 4s. They use these Tusks, these Earth Spirits really well to go between moving from the mid lane to their safe lane and trying to give Pale Horse a really good start to, you know, maybe tempo some early aggression. I think it's something Arkosh is really good at.
Pale Horse has had a pretty good time with it.
Yeah, there is a lasso. Fire Blast is going to fly in. Canis Volpus is going to go for the Dissimulate and Astral Step out, but Alien Man Banana wants to keep chasing. Looks like Crow's going to try and maybe turn around here onto Light Shader, but he's just playing games with him. They are going to back off, but they are going to wait for those 6-minute power runes now. Top rune spot, it is going to be there. So Canis will get an Invis rune now, and perhaps we could expect a bit of a rotation to come out of him very soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's that,
Gremlo.
It's that spike for the Void Spirit. Oh.
Gremlo might be in some trouble. He might get hit by the axes here.
He may. Murderer. Oh, doesn't connect the slow. It does. Gremlo. Oh, that's a nice shards out from Crow. Really nice shards out from Crow. But now Light Shader's here with the Fire Blast, and Gremlo is still going to die. Crow is going to run away, and well, that was really starting to look like a very nice play, but it does not really work out in their favor.
Pro on point with the blocks. Murderer is getting a lot of space up top now. Like, he's starting to find that steady build-up on farm, going for the Battle Fury with the phase beats. What do you reckon about that? Like, are we going to see that early Ags build-up? I think Ag's second pick has been the trend in other regions. Is that pretty good here for Murderer, the Dispel?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Ags is really important this game. It'll be interesting to see. I mean, I would prefer a Maelstrom into the Aghanims. I think when you go Battle Fury into Aghanims, it feels like your second, third items never come fast enough, right? Because you want an Ags, but then you also probably want an SNY. So I'd probably prefer to see like a Maelstrom into Ags here, and then you can maybe pick up SNY or BKB afterwards.
Sounds good.
Let's see if Murderer does get that along. Still waiting for a few spikes here, like 2 to 1. Any specific timing you're looking for? Maybe for Arkosh, like they've got that Kotl, they've got the Tusk. You want more activity coming out, or are you happy at the pace so far, sub 10 minutes in?
I think Arkosh definitely feels content with the pace. They have a Kotl, so eventually the Kotl is probably going to take bot lane when Ursa wants to make the move to top to start applying pressure. I think that'll probably be the first move to look out for. On the side of Byzantine, though, I think the Batrider really wants to get active. I mean, we see Canis Vulpus going to the bot lane with an Invis rune, however.
Yeah, Cubey is going to be in big trouble. Pale Horse misses the slam, but they got the Aether Remnant, and he does swashbuckle up to the high ground, but he has no way out. Canis Vulpus does manage to pick up a kill, and looks like he will make the rotation back into the mid lane. In fact, they might find Alien. Does have a Firefly, looks like he's going to be alright. Maybe. Light Shader, Fire Blast, Goat, perhaps going a bit too far. You don't have the Firefly. It will be alright.
The Batrider is really close to his bots, so it'll be interesting to see if he jungles back to base and then maybe TPs to a side lane with these bots to look for a play. Might happen on bottom even, as Cubey is close to 6 as well.
Big plays are expected here. You still have Crow hanging around just in case. Now, they're just going to wait out those BOTs as Alien Mana Banana are going to go back into the neutral camps, and so he's just going to finish it off there. Some stacking happening here from Frugos just to really escalate that a little bit. I suppose Arkosh should be aware of this timing though, right? Like, they should be pretty darn aware that those BOTs are going to come out on Alien Mana Banana, who still has the lasso, should be making a play very, very soon. But
yep.
Arkosh, they seem to know.
Smoke. Invasion into the tri-camp. Looks like they're trying to wrap around this bottom tier 1. Interesting for sure.
Top lane, meanwhile, Gremlo was falling very low, but back down to the bot lane, Cubey. He caught out now with the slam. He does go for the swashbuckle, but the snowball is going to be there from Crow, and the Rolling Thunder going to be blocked off by the shards. A great play from Crow, but they can't finish the kill. Cubey, 25 HP, he will roll his way out.
Look mid. They smoke up as well in Byzantine Raiders, knowing that there was that movement out.
This is a really great wrap if it can connect. They're looking for the Ursa, but I don't know if they're going to find him. They might go for the supports.
Bounty Rune, it's going to be claimed by Crow for now. They're still having a gander. Canis Vulpus, he might be a great target. The lasso not going to be there yet. In fact, the Aether Remnant now locking him down. He does get the lasso off now, but the snowball is going to follow him up the staircase. Can they get the kill? Well, Light Shader, he'll be the first one to go down. And of all things, Canis Vulpus, he just runs out of there scot-free while Cubey is going to be chased down by Pale Horse. Another great chance out. The swashbuckle is going to be there to get away. And in fact, the sticky napalm is making it so Pale Horse is getting kited as Murderer is going to come in. And Snare is there. He has definitely gone too far, but a nice snowball out Crow, getting him out of danger. And Gremlo needs to make a run for it, but he does have borrowed time as Alien Mana Banana going to try and trigger it and just run away. That might just be it. They are out of spells to throw out. But what a team fight.
I was really impressed by that, actually. Both teams seem to playing it pretty safe, not overcommitting, you know, just trying to poke at the enemy. And, you know, that's a result. We see that nothing actually happens, but, you know, that's actually generally good Dota.
That's just the smoke being broken under that ward on the cliff as well, so not being able to connect like that would have been way better, as you mentioned, if they found at least one of the supports at the start. You're starting to see some frustration here, perhaps, from Alien Man Banana. That's what, his second lasso with no kill?
Yeah.
He must be wanting to find something now.
I think the path that they took was a little odd. You know, they're taking 2 different directions at once, and it leads to the smoke popping on one side while the other side isn't really ready. We see an invasion forcing Pale Horse probably back into the tri-camp, and Pale Horse smartly makes the TP top, gonna look to apply some pressure. I hope that Byzantine responds to this by going bottom and trying to apply pressure there. It looks like the Troll is kind of sitting there, but the Kotl is going to be able to hold this versus the Troll for a very long time unless they actually bring resources there. Looks like instead they're deciding to defend top with the Rubik TPing up.
And they do have Cubey and Light Shader behind.
I was going to say, you don't really agree with that decision, right? Like, Frugos moving up towards the top lane to try and defend, probably not really worth his time. And
I think it's okay because he walked away. If he had stayed there and sat under his tower and really tried to force his team to come defend this, I think it would have been bad. But, you know, as you see, he walks mid. Now the Batrider is able to TP bottom, and so the Rubik is actually going to be able to soak the mid lane while his team makes the 4-man play to bottom. So I think it's actually fine.
Nice little heads-up play from Goat as well on the Coddle. He backs off at the right time with the 4-man rotation that was coming in from Byzantine Raiders. So they're not really even going to be able to get a kill out of this rotation. They're just going to have to try and settle for the tier 1 tower. But I believe Arkosh can just... Uh-oh. Yeah, he has Goat. Lining line is going to give him some time. Alien Mana Banana
is
not going to be able to catch him.
Yeah, it was close.
And with that
mid?
Yeah, Arkosh goes to the mid lane. Try and defend. Hubei does come in. Rolling Thunder is available. An Alien going in for a lasso attempt, but they can't catch Canis Vulpes. They might have to settle for Gremlo, but the borrowed time is going to be popped, and he heals pretty much all the way up. And they just can't kill anyone.
Yeah, it's a very stable game from both sides. I think it's because Arkosh has a lot of save. You know, this Abaddon, this Tusk have both been doing great jobs at making sure that no one actually gets lassoed or Pangoli or stunned, whatever.
Yeah, they've also been able to move around enough that Pale Horse is just kind of left alone up top now. Like, they do finally get some heroes up top to check their jungle, but his farm has been steady on that. Ursa doesn't have his Battle Fury yet, but is still, you know, one part away. Slightly slower than her Troll, but he did build into his treads first. What are the timings we're looking for between the Ursa and the Troll? Like, are you expecting the Troll to be faster earlier, or are we expecting more aggression earlier on from that Ursa?
I think both heroes actually play a very similar tempo. Obviously for the Ursa, the first timing is probably going to be his BKB or Blink Dagger for whatever he decides to go. Probably a BKB this game. For Troll, it's probably going to be that Agony Scepter.
It's going to be a big team fight. Canis Vulpes mid lane does jump in and does jump back out. Pretty much scouting everyone on the side of Byzantine Raiders. With that Arkosh, they can make the decision as to whether they want to back off or keep going. As far as I can tell, they have all their spells up if they really want to. It looks like they're just happy forcing the rotations out from the Byzantine Raiders.
Yeah, it's making it really difficult for Byzantine Raiders to maximize this map. They have to group as 4 every single time. Only Murder is getting any real space. We talk about Alien Man Banana, right? Like, he's smoked up again. He's got the travels. What does he need a blink pass? He's saving for the Yules, and they might get their smoke broken here.
To be honest with you, I think he should just go BKB. There definitely will be an engagement here. Jump on Canis Vulpes. And the lasso.
Yeah, they put the lasso.
He might die.
No, he doesn't though. Astral Step is going to be there in time, and he does manage to use another to get away, but Murderer is on Pale Horse. Enrage is there. He's just trying to run for now as Goat is going to hold them back. And once again, Arkosh, they will just not die. Just nobody wants to go down, and they might just turn around now. In fact, never mind, they are going to go get a reset, but this does seem quite detrimental for Byzantine using all this time and all these resources and just not getting anything.
I think it's okay, especially because they were able to get Pale Horse to go up to that. I don't know if Pale Horse wanted to come to that. It looks like he got recalled, but in the mid lane, the Murderer is just going in.
He's manning up, but I'm not sure about this near the T1 tower. Light Shader also going to be there with the rest of the team, but Goat, he's just going to spam Illuminate and hold them back. I don't know, Byzantine Raiders, it looks like they're going to commit to this.
They have a
Arkosh, should they take the fight?
Murder is really going for this.
He is. Alien Man and Banana there as well. Canis going to Astral Step again, and now Crow goes in for the Walrus Punch. They are still going onto that tier 1 tower with the Siege Creep. Of course, the Bloodlusted Siege Creep is there. Crow looking for an initiation, but doesn't have shards. Gremlo, borrowed time going to be popped, and now he's been lifted up. He's in danger. Aphotic Shield is going to be up, but a nice snowball there from Crow, but they're going right into the depths of hell. No, it is not. Murderer going to turn back around, but they're still all alive as Pale Horse now coming back in. They kill off Crow, but there goes Light Shader. Canis Vulpes, he's also going to come back. The Pale Horse is falling very, very low. The Enrage, the Aphotic Shield, they're trying to make him survive. The Illuminate, but Pale Horse is going to go down. Alien Man and Banana, he also dies. Murderer is still trying to chase. He might find Goat here on the Keeper of the Light, but it looks like he is going to be just fine. But finally, a bit of a victory here for Byzantine Raiders.
Ooh, that's a lot of commitment now in mid. Does pay off. You're seeing a lot of value from Frugos. He just waits for that Abaddon to use the shield, steals it up. It's very hard to just switch off the shield because of the cast point of the Abaddon. So a lot of, you know, utility from the Rubik, and this is one way for them to fix that up. You're still not happy with Alien Man Banana though. Like, he still wants to live through these fights, but you are finding more in Murderer. The Yule's almost done now. and they're still focusing down mid. Like, this commitment for both sides down mid, just a Mexican standoff here, Sammy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting that both teams are bringing so much value to this mid tower, and we see that a lot in higher tier Dota, but in these lower divisions, I've seen a lot more chaotic Dota where people are running down side lanes, but it seems like both of the teams are really prioritizing this mid tower. They're playing around it well, and the fights are really close, so definitely a really interesting game. And, you know, anyone can take this.
Going onto the Batrider with that Orchid that he has up. Doesn't get the kill.
Crow might be in some trouble here. Good
nice
snowball away.
out though. Shards perfect onto Murderer. He does pop the drums and he's going to go for a bit of a run. Murderer is going to jog right behind him, but Canis Vulpus is not going to leave Crow behind. And that's actually an interesting build-up from Canis. I believe we usually just skip the Orchid altogether and go for the Ags, right? On the Void Spirit.
Sometimes you do. I think when you want more, you know, solo kill potential and more burst damage, the Orchid is generally better, and the Aghanims is more for team fighting. I think they are trying to kind of avoid team fighting until later in the game anyway, so I don't mind the Orchid. I think it's definitely something that could go either way. To be honest with you, I honestly would have preferred a Eul's. I think the Eul's is really useful in stopping the Pangolier roll, stopping the Troll when he presses ulti. The Eul's would just be really useful in saving his allies, and you're not only saving but also setting up.
And speaking of setting up, they are sort of clumping top, invading that jungle for a bit.
Lane.
So, Gremlo.
Gremlo, he's in a bit of danger, but he's got the borrowed time, so I think he's going to be alright to walk out. And while that was happening, Arkosh, they're going straight for the Roshan.
I
think Byzantine Empire should know about this. They're pinging it. Could get really crazy if the Pangolier rolls in right now. Looks like he's not going to be fast enough.
Too fast.
Yeah, it was really fast.
Way too fast. That's going to be a big boost there for Pale Horse. He's saving up for his BKB. Yeah, you talked about some early BKBs. Early BKB on Ursa. That's just going to allow him to stand and fight. You reckon the timing's going to be pretty good? Murder is still saving up for that SNY here.
Yeah, I think this BKB is going to be a big timing for them, especially to at least secure the mid tower, but likely more, maybe the top tier 2. On bottom, Murderer might get caught.
Yeah, he's been orchided up. He can't pop the battle trance yet, but no, the shards. Oh, Crow, a bit of an error there, and Canis Vulpus, he might die for this. That'll be his first death of the game. Oh, and I didn't see that shards missing like that, but it's unfortunate still mid lane. He may. Hubei, the swashbuckle away, Essence Shift, and the roll. He's going to be fine. In fact, he's going to not turn around. He is going to make it up the stairway. Just fine. Very, very scary, though, in that mid lane for Hubei. Is now Gremlo.
Gremlo is really far
As
up
for a
again.
time, he is.
They have a Eul's as well.
Time there. Very aggressive, but now the lift is there onto the Abaddon, and he should just die.
Oh, man.
You can see Arkosh
out of nowhere.
The split up. They're playing alone. The Abaddon's playing alone mid. The Void Spirit's going for a play bottom. I'd like Arkosh to, you know, group their heroes a bit more, play more together, especially once you're getting into the later parts of the, you know, game, 20 minutes plus. It's weird that they played so grouped early, but then they start splitting up. At, you know, when they have the Aegis, and they should probably be using this Aegis to be strong somewhere on the map. Seems like everyone is content on Arkosh to just farm and split up, which is very odd to me.
And they're being punished great by Byzantine Raiders. They suddenly have a 2K lead, 6-6 on the kill board. SNY done on Murderer, so the Ags is up next. A major spike for that Troll. The progression for Pale Horse, despite that early space, he's not quite matching up to the same pace as Murderer. What do you reckon Arkosh needs to do now? They're constantly smoking up, though. Like
they're smoking to the opposite side of the Ursa, which is very weird to me, right? You have this Aegis, this is your strongest hero at this point in the game, but you keep smoking bottom. They might find the pick on Hubei, but even this kill, I would say, is kind of a low-value kill. I'd probably rather just go top to connect with the Ursa, and you can probably take this tier 2 top for free, as well as wrap on the mid tower.
Bit of an interesting position here from Arkosh as they do start moving towards the dire triangle.
Pale Horse has
thinking
the
about
SNY
moving
completed.
If they can get done, it looks like they're looking for a fight. Byzantine Raiders going to move behind their tier 1 tower in the mid lane, just being very defensive, understanding that something is awry from Arkosh. Looks like they're going to get the tier 1 and probably back off here. Shards, not going to land.
Looks like Byzantine are trying to fight this. Rubik is TPing in as well.
Well, they're committing. Murderer, Orchid immediately being popped, but Gremlo cops one hit. Then McCabe's going to save him. once again, the Raiders, they'll hold on to that mid-tier 1 tower. It is a lot of heroes rotating for this, but they make it happen.
It's hanging on at 199 HP, still not giving it up. And we're still seeing that sort of Mexican standoff mid, and that was the only time Pale Horse really hooked up. Now, the SNY is up on the Ursa, as you mentioned. Pale Horse is kind of matching the Troll, just 2k behind. What did you like to see for Pale Horse next? Like, Battle Fury, Sanj and Yasha up. Should it be the BKB? Are we looking for the Abyssal now, or is it going to be the Ags for the Ursa?
I think you're still going to need a BKB. You'd like to get a Basher as well, but I think the BKB is so important this game. I'm not sure you can afford to go Basher before it. I think it might end up looking like something BKB into Basher into probably a Blink Dagger. Gremlo in some
mid lane.
Really far up again.
Same position every single time, Sammy, and Gremlo. He's going to make it out, but the borrowed time is going to be popped. Luckily for him, a very low cooldown ultimate to have on the Abaddon, so just wait it out. But I'm wondering, what do you think Gremlo's up to here with this very far forward positioning? He seems very confident with his survivability in that mid lane.
Gremlo, at least in all the Arkosh games I've watched, is pretty solid at controlling areas of the map and trying to put himself in the enemy's face. But on a lot of his, I mean, Venomancer, for example, one of his favorites, Nature's Prophet as well. But it tends to put himself just a bit too far up and gets punished a lot for that. That's kind of what we're seeing here, I think. I think he also probably could have died that time if Teed had committed to it.
Canis going to go straight onto the Troll now. No BKB available on that Troll. Warlord has been silenced up at the Battle Trance. It's going to come in time, and now a great lasso out, but it is purged up by the Abaddon. Aegis is going to go down on the Ursa. Still going to keep this fight up. Arkosh, they are rushing into the supports. The snowball does come in from Crow, and they do take down the Ogre. Onto another, they want Cubey, who does blink towards the north. That may have been a bit of an error as Cubey now trapped up, but no, a great swashbuckle out. And now Murderer going to come back in. Onto Goat, they want the Ursa as well, but Pale Horse, he's still pretty healthy. Back onto Cubey, another swashbuckle there. He is definitely getting kited right now as Gremlo, the borrowed time, going to kick in. They don't have Battle Trance anymore. Murderer, he's overextended. He does get blown up. Back onto Alien Mana Banana, who is going to run out of Firefly very soon, but the Yules does save his life. And that may just be it unless Canis catches him up, but no, Frugos. A bit of damage. Slam is going to be there. He does actually Astral the other way, but Gremlo is going to be able to kill him off, and now Light Shader also going down. Byzantine Raiders, they took about a second there to just try and back off, and it does cost them 2 supports at the end.
The Troll kind of overextended into the enemy team, and then once the Troll dies, the rest of the fight gets really difficult because that's kind of the front of your fight.
Yeah, it just didn't shape up. We saw Murderer overextend quite a fair bit. Our Ursa now, Pale Horse, he's actually saving up for the Abyssal first, so not going for that BKB. Might leave him a bit vulnerable, but he seems confident. And he even has a blink on hand, so he's going to have a lot less of a kiting issue, I guess, once you have that Abyssal up as well. And Arkosh just looking up top. Byzantine, they've won a couple of fights. They're 3k behind now. Is there, like, what do they need to do to fix this up? It's just not quite lining up cleanly for them right now on the Dar side.
I think they committed basically all of their big spells on this Aegis. If they hadn't been fighting into an Aegis there, right, this fight starts actually with an Ursa dying. And I think they should have accepted that this Aegis is what they're getting. They used Pango Roll plus Lasso, killed the Aegis, and then all you gotta do is run away, farm the map, chill, wait your cooldowns, and then go again. I think they're still in the same position where if they find a good target with the Lasso and it doesn't get counterplayed by the Abaddon, they can still win basically any fight, especially because the Ursa doesn't have a BKB yet. Rugas might get caught in the top lane though.
Yeah, he's caught all right. He's going down. Walrus punch there, and Gremlo does take the kill. And they are committing this tier 2 top tower.
I don't believe they can They're going to try to smoke around and find a fight here. Very interesting.
Definitely seems very aggressive here from BR, but are they going to smoke? No, they decide better over, but Pale Horse, he blinked straight into them for a second.
They decide better of it. I like that. It was definitely a weird TP from Murderer to TP there and then, you know, kind of just farm back to where you were anyway.
Certainly.
Yeah, just very keen. I think he feels confident now with the Ags pickup done on Troll. So SNY, Battle Fury, Ags up. He is a little bit harder to kite, although the silence is still going to be deadly. And you can see Murderer save for that BKB himself next, which should help the cause. Well, Byzantine Raiders still, you know, they're down a couple of towers here. The map is sort of shrinking down. Arkosh, a bit back and forth in these fights, but they are getting a little bit more for their other cores. What's the game plan now for, say, Arkosh, right? Like, they lost Aegis. They do have the blink up on Pale Horse. They haven't really used it yet in any fight. Do they just wait for the Abyssal at this point in Pale Horse and just jump in with that double mobility on the Ursa, or do they want to jump now with just the blink?
I think the blink and the basher would be enough. I assume he'll buy out the basher. I think it's just about playing off vision. Whichever fight or whichever team has good vision for the fight is probably going to win. I think if the Ursa is able to find a good initiation on either the Rubik or the Pangolier, the fight is going to be really hard for Byzantine. But on the other side of things as well, right, if the Bat Rider is able to find a nice initiation on either Void Spirit or Ursa with the Abaddon not close, it could also be a very easy fight for Byzantine Raiders. So I really think it comes down to A, execution, and B, playing around your vision.
We'll see if they can pull that off. That basher has been bought out, and could be prime time for that smoke if they want to. They are kind of split up, though. You can see Crow and Canis Vulpus playing bot, and it's actually Byzantine that smoked up. So again, they want to use this Ags.
Gremlo's in a good
that
position.
Execution.
They do back off for now. Byzantine Raiders still smoking through the Radiant side jungle.
This is kind of an
odd
odd
find anyone
smoke.
there.
It's because where their lanes are, right? You know, they have top lane all the way near their base, and they have bottom lane also shoving into them. Like, bottom lane has negative lane pressure, meaning that it's shoving into them, basically. So both their side lanes need to be responded to, which makes any smoke they make, you know, really, really obvious. On the other side of things, this Arkosh smoke is a lot scarier, right? Because Arkosh are the ones with positive lane pressure, and Byzantine feel like they need to respond to lanes, which will likely give Arkosh an opportunity to find a pick.
Cubey's there to break the smoke. He does get a ward down, but he's going to get bursted straight off the bat, and now the snowball onto Alien Mana Banana. Shard's going to lock him in, but he does have the Firefly. Canis Vulpus going to go back into the back lines, gets Light Shader. That'll be 2 supports down, or rather, 1 off lane, 1 support.
Good recognition from Byzantine to back off. That fight was definitely not going to go well after it starts on the... Oh, Frugos is in some trouble.
He is. Pale Horse going to spot him out and gets another kill for himself, and I believe that'll actually set them up to be the first ones into the Roshan pit if they so wish.
Roshan...
Yeah, they've got that opening. Like, there's a pretty long response on a couple of those supports. It is a bit long for Roche, half a minute, not too far off. Couriers are scouting out now. Byzantine, again, just a bit clumsy here, and Arkosh just keeping pressure. They bought out some smokes. Like, they've been trying to play with its Ags. Like, how else do they execute now? That's been the main issue. What else do they need to execute? Because they're just not finding these openings. Their lanes are just not working out.
It's all about setting up the map so that these smokes have a higher percentage of connecting, right? Which means getting out your side lanes first, using the Bat Rider to play the map. I think the Bat Rider's been honestly doing kind of a poor job of playing the map. Look, top lane, he might get initiated on.
Canis, he's got him in the Aether Remnant. Orchid going to be there as well. No BKB, but he does have the Yules to purge the silence. Now the lasso's there. Canis, he's by himself, but so is the Bat Rider. Meanwhile, in the Die jungle, there's another fight breaking out. Murderer, he tried going on the Keeper of the Light, but the Snowball's going to be there by Crow into a great chance to lock him in. But here comes the Rolling Thunder from Cubey from the backside. Going to try and go onto the Ursa, but he does have the Aphotic Shield and the Enrager's Canis. He is still alive. He comes back in to join the team fight. But nobody will die. Both teams are going to back off for now as Gremlo is
Mana Banana is really far forward.
He does go down as Gremlo is still running away, but it looks pretty darn good for Arkosh. They're going to reinitiate now. The buyback is there from Goat. They go onto the Troll Murderer. He does pop the Battle Trance. Can he kill Crow off? It does look like he should be able to, but meanwhile, can he keep going?
Might be able to finish Gremlo as well.
He looks like he will, and he does, as we do see the jump back in from Pale Horse.
But I don't think this fight's going to go well for them. Pale Horse needs to get out of there.
Yeah, he definitely does, but he's gone. An Ultra Kill out from Murderer. Maybe Canis Vulpus going to just run away. Cubey, they are going to catch him out, and now the Rampage coming in. Goat, he just fought back. McCabe, we're off. That vision should have seen him. The Observer Ward there on the cliff, but they're going to leave him be. They're going to go for the Roshan. No Rampage necessary here for Murderer. And that'll be Roshan going to the Byzantine Raiders.
And that's going to be big. They expended buybacks early. Arkosh do not have the numbers to come in. They might catch Frugos. They do.
They have,
might
but
be able
look
to
at
clean
aiming
up on
at
both
banana.
supports with no buyback here. This could be 2 really big kills.
He's diving for this. Goat is not actually going to tick out. He was 25 HP away, but Light Shader. Dimmercape again going to save the day as now the shards come out from Crow to lock him in, and Light Shader needs to go the long way around, but they jump in with the tag team now. And the snowball. Gremlo there.
Well,
you go down.
Little out of position there on Light Shader, going for some cheeky plays.
Indeed it was. They still got the Aegis though on Byzantine Raiders. I suppose even with those deaths at the end, they are probably still very happy.
Absolutely. Whenever these fights get really long and the Troll Ag starts getting abused and the Pangolier constantly being able to disarm and Rubik constantly being able to throw out all his spells, all this sorts of stuff, as the fights get longer, it definitely gets easier. Meanwhile, on the bot lane, Ursa TP here, I'm not sure what he's...
He gets the ensnare, rather the enrage at least, as Crow going to come in to try and help out. Canis Vulpus also going to be there. The Aether Remnant does lock down Murderer. It looks like they may have the tier 2 tower, keeping them pretty darn safe, but Murderer, he wants to keep going. He does have the Battle Trance and the Aegis. And for now, Crow is going to be the only one to drop as they chase for more. Frugos, a nice blink in. Does get Canis Vulpus, but to dissimulate, going to allow him to get away. And instead, they'll have to settle for the bottom tier 2 tower.
I think Arkosh needs to do a better job at recognizing that they need to dodge this Aegis. You know, Pale Horse TP's bottom, and now he's going to draw his whole team bottom to kind of protect him there. And they should probably just be trying to dodge, play the other side of the map. Because as you can see, now the Troll is going to go high ground. Pale Horse has no TP. He's top lane. This is actually a really big deal for them. The Tusk has no buyback as well. This could be game losing.
Oh, do they have the recall? It doesn't look like they do right now. He hasn't popped the ultimate yet, but Canis Vulpus pops his own BKB, trying to get out of there. Murderer in trouble, but they are. Murderer is going in though, onto Gremlo now, but the borrowed time is going to be there.
Murderer's chasing really far in the base. I don't think he wants to go this far.
No, the Battle Trance is dragging him all the way there as now QB still controlling up Gremlo, but Pale Horse, he's going to jump back in. They do get the Abaddon. Murderer still willing to fight this one out as the enrage is going to wear out. They do as Gremlo run away with the buyback. QB, nice stun out. Canis Vulpus is going to get caught. Illuminate, going to fly through, but with the Aegis, you'd assume Murderer just keeps going, and he does. He wants the tier 3 tower at least. There is basically no buybacks left, apart from Pale Horse, on the side of Arkosh Gaming right now. Going in, back onto the Coddle.
And he instantly dies.
And he does. Another nice kill, 2 dead without buyback.
Tier 2 though. Will only be 1 set of racks. Gonna have to reset, go take the other tier 2s from the side of Byzantine.
Yeah, they do still hold that Aegis for the next push though. Like, they save that Aegis. The cheese was popped by Murderer, but, you know, the BKB is still at 9 seconds. He's gonna have his Basher up soon. The Troll is starting to be an issue. It's now Arkosh's turn. Like, they've been overextending a couple of times. Pale Horse, he's still saving up for the Abyssal, but he switches to that BKB.
That's smart. It's smart. Definitely gonna need the BKB.
Should help him out in standing in the front. You do have certain things coming out here as well. The Aeon Disc up in QB, so you can stand a bit more, although Murderer.
Murderer has a
double
DD
damage.
rune.
He's chasing, still has the Aegis. Oh, he's been caught out now though. Maybe this is a bit too far as the Aether Remnant gets him, but perhaps Arkosh assuming that he had his team behind him, which he kind of did. The smoke rotation out.
It's really difficult to go on this Troll.
Ross breaks the smoke immediately, but they jump back in onto him.
He might die right away.
He does, as Light Shader also getting caught out now. The Shards not going to lock anyone in, but they're willing to fight. Murderer going to have to try and man-fight this one out as the lasso is there, but it's not going to last too long. Pale Horse does survive through it. Now the Battle Trance there from Murderer back onto the Ursa with the Enrage. Going to keep them safe with the Aphotic Shield. They can't get through the Ursa very fast, but they're doing it very, very slowly at least. The Snowball is back now onto Murderer. They want to keep fighting, but they do lose Crow, and now Pale Horse is in massive trouble. He's trying to survive. He does die, and Canis Vulpus also going to go down. No buybacks left. Frugos is going after Goat and catches him with the Aether Remnant. That is 4 down without buyback. If the Raiders notice this, they might just go for tier 4 towers.
Yeah, they might. They know that the supports have no buyback. I don't think they know about the buyback status of either Pale Horse or Canis Vulpus, but, you know, they may try to force Throne anyway, and I think they are. They still have this Aegis for... Well, maybe it's expiring now, actually.
Yeah, not too long left in that. But the troll does melt towers fast with this right-click damage, so they're going to go for it. And yeah, Murderer's just going to go for it. They're confident.
Going. Aegis is out, however, so no Aegis for this throne of attempt.
Very dangerous stuff. The glyph is going to be forced, and they'll go back for the mid-rats.
Pale Horse bought out the BKB before that fight.
Yeah, cost him his buyback. And you have the Ag Shards up on Light Shader, so they've got some slightly more durability from that shield coming out on their course in the front, reflecting some damage back as well. Just insane utility coming out from the Ogre now.
I think Byzantine are recognizing that they're not going to be able to take this throne and backing off smartly. I really like this call from them. They obviously have the game pretty much under their control at this point, and now all they have to do is stay grouped. Don't give the Arkosh team the ability to find you, by yourself, and the game should be pretty easy from here.
They are very close to getting their first win of the lower division, and it's going to be pretty nice for Byzantine Raiders if they can get this done. Of course, Arkosh, they are demons after all. They're not going to make it easy. They are going to start moving their way through the mid lane, back into the triangle. They are going to hold on to one lane of rats, and it looks like both teams are just going to try and secure those tier 4 items now. See who does get a little bit luckier. Arkosh, I think they are going to need quite a bit of luck now, because it is looking very, very rough.
Yep, a lot of big item pickups. Smoke from Byzantine, where they have Abyssal on Troll, as well as an Octarine on the Bat Rider, so big item pickups there. They also have an Aeon Disc plus Spell Prism on the Pangolier, so Pangolier looks really strong. The Smoke is looking to connect on the Abaddon.
Gremlo does break the smoke. Kane's going to catch out the troll with the Aether Remnant. Murderer still going to rush in. He has that Abyssal to use, but he wants to find a different target. He will get silenced, however.
Pale Horse is very aggressive here. He's blinking all the way in. He gets lifted immediately.
Pale Horse, I don't know about this one. He gets saved by the opponent's shield. Yeah, he's been taken down. Battle Trance is going to be there, taking out Pale Horse without buyback onto Gremlo. He just keeps attacking. The Will-O-Wisp is going to be there. The Cubey, the Rolling Thunder, they will get goat. Everyone just trying to retreat here from Arkosh, but they call the GG. They have had enough, and Byzantine Raiders will be able to pull off their first victory of the lower division for the NADPC.
Spectacular performance from Byzantine Raiders. A lot of back and forth there with Arkosh. And, the troll does deliver. Like, it hasn't been having a good time here in NA, at least based on the records of the pick so far here. It does show up here. Arkosh, it looked good early on. Where did they go wrong here, Sammy? Like, was it just all those small missteps in the lane, like when they were going out solo, or what happened there?
I think overall Arkosh's game plan, even throughout the lower division, has been pretty solid. But oftentimes, I feel like they're a team where their first 15 minutes is very defined. They make a lot of good early moves. They secure early towers. And then I feel like they get really lost in the mid game where they're not really sure what to do. They had Aegis, plus maybe they could have had a BKB on the Ursa. And in my opinion, they should be using this Aegis to take control of the map. When they had this Aegis, they weren't even building a gold lead. They were still just letting the map stay 50-50. And when you have this powerful advantage from the early game, you have this Aegis on your Ursa from a great, that was a great Roche call at I think 16 or 17 minutes. Now it's about figuring out how to transition that Aegis into an actual gold lead or to actual, map pressure, taking a portion of the map away from the enemy, stuff like that. And then
with that, guys,
sorry.
Go on.
No, continue.
No, we have time. I was going to throw to a break.
I was also going to say, I think, shout out to both teams. That was a great game. I think both teams played the first 20 minutes very, very well. Stayed grouped, played tight Dota, didn't give up the mid tower. It was good stuff from both teams.
I agree with you on that, Sammy. Of course, we are going to have to head off to a short break, but right after that break, we are going to be back with the panel to discuss what happened in this game number 1.